everyone, and welcome to the second video of your Willowfinch onboarding series. There will be two versions of this second video depending on whether or not you selected that you have the income streams of 401k, IRA, Social Security, or pension coming into play during your projections. If you picked yes for that, you will have those slots to fill in here in the My Income section. If you picked no, you will only see wages. This particular video is to walk through the steps if you did select yes. So we'll be entering information for Social Security, pension, 401k, IRA, and all of that kind of when you're going to draw those and how it can factor in those different income streams in your personalized 10-year projection. If you picked no, there's another video. You're going to want to watch that to go through the steps for this particular section. If you picked either yes or no and want to change it, all you'll have to do is go back to the My Goals section, change that answer to yes or no, whichever you want it to be, update your profile, and then come back here to My Income, and you'll be able to either enter those income streams or not have them there depending on how you changed it. And remember, if you said no, that might be because you don't want to worry about that right now. It might be because you are looking at a semi-retirement or other career change in the move. It's not always the same reason. That's why we leave it up to you. The benefits of the tools that you'll see in this My Income section is that it'll show you the 10-year projection based on your annual pre-tax income. And you can see right here, it's pulling in the number automatically from your My Goals section. And if you need to update that, you can do that as well. And then it'll allow you to enter the different income figures, whether it's just the changes in the wages or the other income streams below in the section. And we'll get to that in just a bit. And then you can click preview to see how it would be working before you save it. And then when you're ready, you can save it to your profile. And what's really important about this is to remember that it is showing you the comparison of your planned future income, what you're anticipating or want to see, what it would look like if you're playing with different scenarios, against what you told the tools is your current pre-tax income. So it can show you whether you're hitting the mark of keeping that consistent or where you may be coming up short, either overall or only in a few years, depending on lags between stopping one source of income and starting another. That doesn't mean that you have to hit that mark every time. Everybody has different plans. You and your financial planner will be able to tell if that's on purpose or if there's something that needs to be fixed, but we're going to go about just showing you how to use that tool so that you can make those decisions and see how it plays out. So this is where you'll be able to see with the preview whether there is a year that has that unbalanced income. And this part is where you're going to be able to enter your wages. So this is where you're going to stop taking your wages as they are right now, whether that's stopping your wages entirely for retirement or if you're changing things because of, like we said, different income scenarios. You'll enter that information in the wages section. If you have it set to one person, there'll be just the one column. If you have it set to two people, there'll be two columns for you to enter. And then for all of the other sections, it's when you want to begin that shift in the income, when you're going to be drawing on those different income streams. So the wages is a stop age, the end age. The draw age means it's when that income stream is starting. For Social Security, you can draw as early as 62, but it does depend on what makes sense for you. When you have other income streams starting, we do have blogs and resources you can click through to kind of see when different scenarios make the most sense. And that way you can look at what the balance would be from year to year, and you can talk to your financial pros in your world and see what makes sense for the right timing for you. You might be surprised drawing earlier can sometimes make more sense and allow some of your other income streams to sit and wait and gather some interest. It completely depends on your scenario. Always worth playing with a few different options. Private pension, public pension, everybody has different amounts and plans for when they're going to have to or want to pull those in. This is where you can get that number from the account contact that you have or your financial planner, whatever the best source of information is for you, and you'll enter that here. And then this section is where you'll see your 401k IRA income stream. You can withdraw these typically at 59 and a half years old without the tax penalty. Whether or not, again, that makes sense for you and your projections will depend a lot on the other income streams you have and other changes you have going on in your world. But just keep in mind that depending on when your birthday falls during the year, it will affect whether or not you have to wait till your 60th birth year to make that draw without that tax penalty. The calculator does take that into account. It'll show you whether or not you're hitting that. It'll tell you if it's a problem. That's exactly why we ask about which half of the year your birthday is in. So you'll enter all of that here. And then this preview button is really a very helpful tool when it comes to these projections, because it really does calculate all 10 years out in the future from when the first year of these numbers start. And you don't necessarily want to have it overwrite the information that you have saved from the previous time if you're playing with different scenarios. So this preview button allows you to see the different possible income combinations you might be able to test without overwriting what you had saved previously until you know you're happy with that new version. So preview will show you what it would look like, and when you're happy with it, then you would hit save to profile and move on to saving new properties and looking at your heat maps to see what the different affordability numbers are and how that plays out there in addition to these 10-year projections. So we'll see these numbers change as I go in and add some numbers in just a second, but this is where you will see the 10-year projections. These are based entirely on your personalized numbers. You want to look for things like green for balanced, blue for years that have extra, red shows that that particular year is falling short. And again, you're just looking for whether it makes sense for you, and if it doesn't, making adjustments there in the different timing and amounts that you would be planning on or testing. And then the show details places where you can get more information, and we'll be able to look at this more in detail when we add some numbers here in a second. But it shows you where the different income streams are breaking down and what different places you might be able to shift that planned income to make the changes that you want to make and adjust things in the 10-year projections. When you're ready, you save all of that to your profile, and then you can always come back and update things later. Again, we always recommend you do that every 6 to 12 months just to keep things fresh and review if it's still making sense for you, but also just if you realize that something has changed or that you wanted to shift however it goes. And then when you're ready and it's saved, you'll move on to the next video 3, the next section tour of finding your properties and saving them with the Willowfinch bookmarklet. So let's go ahead and test out some of these numbers. So I have this down as a single person. Again, if you had 2 people on your tax return, you'll have 2 columns for this. But let's say that we were going to end the age for that 90,000 at 62. And then you can see that shifted the year 2030 to 2033 because of the birth year I have in this demo account. And then we can add the different income streams. So you don't have to add all 4 of them. You only add the ones that are relevant to you. But let's say that I was estimating that we'd get 45,000 here and be withdrawing it at 62 as well. And that I had a pension from a long time ago that put just a bit in, starting at 65. And that I would also be drawing $35,000 on a 401k starting at 62 as well. So I can preview this, and you can see how in the more details it shows the different income. It can show me that I am not quite up to that 90,000 any of the 10 years. Now, again, if I know that I plan on reducing my budget, or if I have other sources of income that aren't accounted for on this page or whatever, I could say, yeah, you know what, that makes sense. That fits what I need these projections to look like and move on from here. But if that isn't what I need, if I need those years to be up to scratch, then I can come back over here and look at, okay, how do I adjust that? I can see these first 3 years are extra shortages, and then I have the 4,500 short on these. So potentially could decide, you know what, we're just going to add that 5,000 here, preview that. And I can see that, year 4 through 10, that's good. We've got that sorted. Year 1 through 3 is still short, but maybe I already have something planned for that year. Maybe I'm traveling. Maybe I have savings set aside and I don't mind. For whatever reason, that might make sense for what I'm doing. And if I like the way that looks, I can tell it to save to profile. And it is all updated. So that's how you use these My Income sections if you do have more income streams than just your wages set up on the My Goals section. Remember, you can always come back and rewatch this video. You can always go through the tour again. If you have anything that you need help with, please do let us know. You can get support up here in the top menu button on your Willowfinch account. You can reach out to us on social media. You can always email as well. And then the next thing that you will do will be head over to the Find Properties section and learn how to start saving properties in different locations that sound exciting and see it all come together on your personal heat maps and how that all works out for the different scenarios. So head on over to the next video or section of the tour, and I will talk to you soon.